Good morning, Panthers. It's Wednesday, and we are in for a long week. A whole 2 days. We hope you can make it.
It's an unusual day because for the first time in history, we have a president who has never held public office. Donald Trump. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Today's science fact of the day is a cool and on the cutting edge of technology. If it works, it will change things as we know it.
Let's head on over to Jonah to hear more about this new technology.
Thanks, Geeve and Gabby. Panthers, tattoos are extremely common today. Now, we are not saying that you should go and get tattoos, so don't go home and tell your parents that we said you should. But what if you could get a temporary tattoo that would allow you to control your computer just by touching your skin? Duo Skin temporary tattoos, which can be made at home and wash off in a day, use the electrodes present in inexpensive gold leaf to create a conductive surface. The gold leaf and a thin layer of silicone adhere to the body to create an interface on the skin that we can touch, can indicate certain commands to your electronic devices. Check out this video for more info.
That's cool. Now let's have some Parkland news. First, students and staff. There are no activity buses today. So far, the only clubs that we know are meeting are Civil Air Patrol, Girl Tech, and rehearsals for Monster Park. You need to have a ride home if you are staying. Check with your sponsors to see if they are meeting today.
Don't miss out on the early bird pricing for yearbook. The current sale ends on Friday. Pick up a form in the halls and turn it in to Miss Coppola in room 2003 today.
PPTV crew members, there are still several of you who haven't turned in your forms for the Channel 9 trip and money. They are due today. If you don't have them, see Mr. Bergman today.
The school store sells 3-inch binders for $4, agenda books for $5, and index dividers for $2 during lunch or after school.
If you received your student ID, make sure you have it with you at lunch. You will need it to receive a locker pass or bathroom pass. Your pass needs to be returned to Miss Wan during the same lunch time. If you do not have your student ID, then you need to bring an agenda or a binder to exchange for a pass. Now let's head back to Maria, who is on Jonah, who's on a very special treat.
Panthers, it's a good bet that you and your parents grew up listening to this.
Sunny day, sweeping the clouds away. On my way to where the air is free. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
That song has been heard by millions of children since it debuted along with Sesame Street 47 years ago this week. Sesame Street is known for its educational content, linked through the use of Jim Henson's Muppets animation, short films, humor, and cultural references. The show has undergone significant changes throughout its history. The format of Sesame Street consists of a combination of commercial television, production elements, and techniques which have evolved to reflect the changes in American culture and the audience's viewing habits. With the creation of Sesame Street, producers and writers of a children's television show used for the first time educational goals and a curriculum to shape its content. It was also the first time a show's educational effects were studied. It introduced us to beloved characters such as Grover, Bert and Ernie, Oscar, the Grouch, Elmo, Cookie Monster, and its most famous character, Big Bird. Here's a closer look at Big Bird. What is that?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
For nearly 40 years, Big Bird has been entertaining kids and adults alike on Sesame Street. Since his first TV appearance, Big Bird has seen only a few changes. He's a bit bigger now, and he's got a few more feathers, but underneath that fluffy exterior, Big Bird remains the same. Meet Carol Spinney. Spinney is Big Bird.
Oh, hi. I'm just about to see if I have any mail today.
Spinney has been inside the bird suit since the beginning, and while the Big Bird character remains a 6-year-old, Spinney is now 73.
Oh, isn't that great?
Yeah.
Continuing in the role, however, suits him just fine.
One of the things that I really enjoy about Sesame Street is that I probably get to do something that most people would dream of. I dream of it, which is that years may go by and you're still the same age.
Hey, you out there in TV land, everybody watch!
Sesame Street's longevity can be attributed to its wide appeal. For kids, it's often the engagement with the show, and parents can take comfort in knowing that their children are learning.
And learning to count was the key to it all.
And with Big Bird being so big, you'd think Spinney would be talking down to them. But he's actually at about the same level as kids, just separated by about 6,000 feathers.
I find that kids really like it if you talk to them like you recognize their intelligence and go into conversation with them, try to be equal to them, not talk down to them.
Spinney also provides the voice of Oscar the Grouch, as Spinney puts it, a character based on a true New Yorker.
I've never done a voice like Oscar, and this guy picks me up and says, "Where to, Mac?" And then he starts explaining how his feelings were about Mayor Lindsay. He went on about it. And actually the city was really messy at the time because there literally was lots of garbage in the gutter. But "Where to, Mac?" I said, "That's a great voice." So I kept saying, "Where to, Mac?" And so Jim was there with his head puppet builder, Don Celine, with the first Oscar. And he looked very different than now. And besides being orange, his head was much smaller, and he didn't have any real good character look or anything. But I had Oscar's voice, and so I said, "I'll get it in the can as best I can, and you come over and knock on it, and Oscar will come up." And so Jim Henson with the builder stands there, and I popped the lid up and brought him up and said, "Get away from my trash can." And he said, "That'll do fine." And I had a job.
Spinney says he'll continue with that job as well as the Big Bird gig for the foreseeable future.
Hey, bye, everybody. What? Don't watch Barney.
Sesame Street has been brought to you today by the letters W, S, and E.
And John Belmont, the Associated Press.
Well, Panthers, that's all for today. It's the beginning of a new quarter, so focus working on items you struggled with last quarter.
8th graders, tomorrow is career day, so dress for success. Look your best. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye!